Fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate. What have you been doing today, Keyzie?
I'm ashamed of myself today. Today has been my most unmotivated day since I joined the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had nothing on. The day was beautiful. Got up, cleaned the entire house, and then proceeded to watch telly for like 5 hours. I don't know why.
What did you watch?
I was watching YouTube, then I was watching a few travel
What do you watch on
docos.
YouTube? I've never watched YouTube. I've watched something on there, but I've never sat down there and gone from really, unless I'm watching music videos because I'm steamed.
Well, the thing about YouTube is, once you've watched a few things, like the algorithm, like on TikTok, it starts serving you shit you're interested in. So mine's full of stuff about cars, the NBA when the season comes around, a lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah.
And so it'll just go from one thing to the other.
For 5 hours.
Shit you not, I watched a 1.5 hour documentary on the Kennedy assassination.
That's good, though.
Made by a YouTube. Yeah, and it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And it basically pointed out, here are all the facts, and you need to make up your mind as to what happened.
Yeah.
My mind is made up that it wasn't a conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
And then literally I ate half a packet of cheese balls.
But that's the other thing is they can just serve it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I worked on a doco called, I won't say what it was. It was a docudrama.
Right.
And it was about a crime that had happened in New Zealand. Well-known crime where people are like, there's like 3 of them where people are like,
Yeah.
And
Is it the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Like the...
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, cool.
But the director, so, as a documentarian, you should be supplying all of the facts and then giving people the option.
Right.
But this particular documentary maker had a very clear feeling about what it was.
Right.
And so naturally there's going to be you're going to be pushed that way. And if somebody else felt the other way and was making the same thing, then they would spend more time on certain things than they would on other things,
Actually, I think that is what is so interesting about this guy's page, and he makes one video a year, and it's like a real detailed thing. And so the last one was Jack the Ripper, like a year ago. And it was like an hour and a half.
I had to come up with fresh evidence on Jack the Ripper.
But and I watch these when I'm lying on my Sharky mat in bed usually, and so I zone out. And it basically goes, here are all the people, here are where they said they were. He's made like a map of London, and he plots out everything. And then he's like, this is why it's so hard to figure out who he was.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all these things. Here are the main suspects. You might think it's these guys, but this evidence says this.
Right.
And after you come out at the end of it, like, I have no idea.
Was it 1600s or something?
London, maybe 1800s? Was it that? I don't think it was that.
It was moons ago.
Nah,
maybe not.
Nah, I think it was the 1800s.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, it was...
He's made a real impact because he didn't even kill that many people.
No, he killed maybe like 7 women.
Ugh. You see what I'm saying?
What do you think?
But it's got to be as one of the all-time great names, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. And that's where the saying...
It's because you know why they called him that.
Have a Ripper.
Because when he was leaving... all the police could hear is the echoing of him doing a Keyzie.
Is that what they called it?
Ripping a hoity J out on his back patio.
Yeah, that's better.
Jack the Ripper.
I thought it was...
Just the smell of fog and fart.
And that's why they say have a Ripper nowadays.
Have a Ripper.
Jase isn't here, by the way. He's filming.
He's filming, isn't he?
Learning lines and stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, what did you get up to today?
Well, I got to work, which was really cool, and then what did I do? So I went to the gym.
Oh, wow.
That was rare. So I went to the gym. That was good. It was good because I'm on a new program. So, did that, and then went and had some meetings at work, and then it was so cold that I had to go home and get in front of a heater.
Oh, in your office, eh? You got no heating.
We can get a heat pump put in, but it's so astronomically expensive that it's just not a good use of our funds at the present time. Do you know what I mean? But it is also like today I was just like, oh, look, I'll just pay for it. It's insane.
Can you get like either...
It's so like your hands.
Yeah, because can you get like a second-hand one or a Bunnings type setup? Or nah?
It's all hooked up to the thing. And the other problem is it's going to be a bastard because it's high ceilings.
Right.
And so heating it up is going to be a rip. But it's just like my partner in the business is just like, it's all good. It's nearly spring. It's like, dude, can you feel your hands?
Today was the coldest as well, right?
It was, yeah, and literally the coldest, right?
Yeah.
They're literally the coldest of the year. But a beautiful day, so that was a nice change.
Well, picture this, right? You said you went to the gym and you've got your protein shake now. I put my gym clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, maybe I'll just chill for a bit. And I sat back on the couch, put a blanket on me, and then that's where I sat for 2 hours until I got up to get a bag of cheese balls.
I think the biggest... you remembered them. Is that what happened?
Yeah, there was some in the pantry. I was like, cheese
that's
balls.
right, cheese balls. Yeah, I love it.
I'll just do that.
I think
instead
the
of the gym.
biggest piece of shit day that I've had was a couple of months ago, hungover, and I think I watched just TikTok all day, probably 3 months ago. I was just in bed all day watching that.
And did you feel like
and
a real...
I loved it.
I
felt like a piece of shit,
Yeah.
but it was like the best thing. It was like, should I watch something? It's like, I'm so hungover.
Yeah, you can't even watch.
I wouldn't have the attention span. So just these little videos.
Well, you know how yesterday I was real tuckered out after the go-karts and whatnot and hungover from the Pie Awards. Mm-hmm. I literally sat on the couch. My wife was away, which was great. And the good thing is you're drinking, so you couldn't yell at my wife just then. Sat down on the couch, ate a massive bag of takeaways, and was so tired and hungover I couldn't actually play PlayStation.
What'd you go for?
What?
Takeaways.
McDonald's.
Yeah, boy.
It was so good.
What'd you go for, though, specifically?
I got nuggets.
Yeah.
Because we were
How many nuggies?
Just 10.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, just 10. Although I drove past and saw the...
Sweet and sour sauce?
Yeah.
Have you ever been into barbecue?
I've tried it and it's just not as good. I like barbecue traditionally.
I've tried it and I don't like it either. I'm sweet and sour all the way.
Yeah, hard out. And then I drove past the sign that said 40 nugs for $30. And I thought about
back there, eh?
Nah, but what I did do was sign up to this punishing app to get this deal. And now I've got the app on my phone like a real...
To get what deal?
This deal to get a couple of burgers and some fries for like $13.
So you had 10 nuggets. What burgers?
Quarter pounder and a McChicken.
That's pretty good.
And a fries.
That's pretty good.
Because I don't want the drink. I just drink water because I take it home. I'm not much of a...
I think it's probably the only time I'll have a fizzy drink. And it used to be, they used to do normal Sprite, but I feel like they only do Sprite Zero now. So I would have a Sprite at McDonald's and I'll have a can of Coke with fish and chips. And I'll say to the missus there, I'll say, do you want a can of Coke? And she'll go, oh... And that's when I say, I'm getting you one.
Yeah, because she's going to have some of yours.
Because you're going to try and have some of mine, and I'm just not having it. So that's when and I'll go, what's the general, it used to be, they used to do the Mac Attacks, which are good, 2 Big Macs.
So I used to do that and swap it out with McChickens.
Because McChicken, could you do that?
Is my burger. Yeah, you can do that with McChickens.
McChicken used to be my burger, and I would take the lid off it and put sweet and sour sauce on that, because effectively it's just a massive nugget.
That is a massive nugget.
And so sweet and sour sauce on that bastard.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Did I tell you the story about the guy that I work with at McDonald's, because I worked at McDonald's?
Oh, right.
When I was 17. So my mum said, look, you're either going to spend more time doing your homework. This is 7th form, so whatever that is.
13.
Or you can leave school and get a job.
That's
and
great.
I was like, sweet, I'll leave school and get a job. So I went and worked at New World, and I'd have to be there at about 4:30 in the morning in the produce department.
Right.
So that you could set up all the vegetables.
Yeah.
And so what that is, I feel like I've told this, but what that is like with cauliflower, silver beet, cabbage,
Broccoli.
probably, lettuce, iceberg lettuce. They'll all brown up, the arse of them, that white core. So you've got this machete and you cut those off to make them look like they're fresh every day, but they're not fresh. They've just been shaved. And then you get everything out. I was there for like 3 months, and he goes, normally you'll start about 5:30.
Right.
Once you get good at it. I was continued to start at 4:30. I never got good at it. And it was the pay. What do you reckon the pay was an hour?
Well, my first job was $7 an hour working at Rebel Sport, so I'm guessing yours was probably...
Pretty late. We're almost talking 30 years ago.
So that was 15 years ago for me, maybe 16. So fuck, what, $4?
$4.
Yes.
$4.25.
Wow.
And then, but McDonald's had recently opened, so I got an interview at McDonald's, and then they were paying $7.60.
Wow.
Or something like that.
More than me 15 years later.
Unbelievably. Yeah, $7.60 or something like that. And so I said to Newell, I said, look, I'm going to go and work over at McDonald's.
Right.
And they said, but we've invested so much time in you, we'll match it. We'll pay you what they're paying you.
Wow.
I was like, well, no, you should have been paying me. If you can afford to pay me that, then you should have been paying me that.
Right.
And I was like, anyway, I kind of want to get into customer service. I certainly want to get out of this fucking freezer that I work in every day. So I went and worked over there, and there was a guy that worked there, Steve, his name was. There's actually career McDonald's people.
Yeah, totally. And I bet it could be a lucrative thing as well if you stick at it.
I think so. And I think this guy was looking to buy one, but he had come up with this idea. When he worked at the Palmerston North one, and head office McDonald's in New Zealand sent him and his mate that had come up with this idea. They were like, this is fucking good.
What?
We are sending you to America, and you're going to tell them what we're doing here. We're going to adopt it in New Zealand. We love it so much.
New Zealand-wide?
New Zealand-wide, we're going to do it.
Wow.
And you're going to go to America, and you're going to tell them what you're doing. You're going to make them the burger in this way, and see if you can get over the line over there. We're going to, it's that good.
Big Mac.
And they go at McChicken.
What?
No. But the McChicken already existed. Their idea was, rather than toasting the buns, we'll steam them.
Oh my God! They invented steamed buns.
They invented steamed buns. So they went over to America. Cock a hoop, it has to be said, because the response was so huge in New Zealand. They showed the Americans, and the Americans told them to fuck off.
But
also, I feel like it could have been an email or a phone call.
I feel like,
hey, you guys should try steaming the buns. Fuck off.
I feel like head office New Zealand stitched those guys up.
Yeah. And he was sort of a little bit crestfallen, but at the same time, he'd been behind a big change. But I would like, and I never tried it actually, because I didn't care enough, but I would like to know what a McChicken tasted like with a toasted bun.
Because are they all steamed now?
All steamed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of that guy, Steve.
The McKeezie.
Steamer.
Yeah. But he loved that he worked at McDonald's. Well, I don't know if he ever
well, that's good.
Got his own McDonald's there. But yeah, it pays good money. The guy that owned that one, he was a former cop, and he had an Alsatian.
Right.
And his Alsatian would always attack our dog.
Is that a German Shepherd?
It was a German Shepherd.
Yeah, right, okay. That gnarly, man. That happened to my dog. Punctured its lung.
Punctured its the side, yeah. Yeah, the guy did not give a shit.
Neither did this guy either. And it was the most harrowing thing I've ever seen while mowing the lawn. Yeah.
While mowing the lawn. The flashbacks.
I was mowing the neighbour's lawn. I used to get paid $20 to do it. So I mowed the lawn on the ride-on, on my dad's John Deere little ride-on. And my dog Rocky would follow me around. At this point, he's like 12 and he's a border collie. And this giant Alsatian from next door jumped the fence, ran over, and grabbed him, and I couldn't get him out. And it was harrowing because I was only like 14.
Did you run them both over with the lawnmower?
Yeah, in the
That's
end.
how he would have wanted to go.
I mulched old Rocky. But then the neighbour came over with a hammer and tried to use it to like lever the fucking jaws open and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what you do with that?
What?
You put your finger in their ass. And I'm not even joking.
Right.
It gives them, you can put whatever you want in there, but finger is the easiest.
Right.
Because it takes a while to get yourself going, if you're trying to do that. So just go with a finger. But yeah, a finger in the ass, you jam it right up there, and they unhook.
Have you ever done it?
That's my dream.
Right.
It's one of my dreams, to be in a situation where I can finger an Alsatian.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie word of the day is...
Steamed buns?
Yeah, I think so.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I don't know.
Something finger-related?
I can't remember what we were talking about at the start, but I wanted to use that for... we'll talk about it a little off here.
Yeah, right.
Can't remember what it was.
Yeah. We were talking about what we did today.
Yeah.
And I was a sack of shit.
Yeah.
And you were
It
cold.
was something to do with that. Yeah, it's been cold.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, Hauraki Big Show, Mr. Mike Minogue, Chris Key, and Zed. See you next week. Wait, tomorrow. Cheers.